I thank the gentleman. The chair recognizes the distinguished gentleman from New York, Mr. Scheuer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Locke, you're quoted as saying to a newspaperman recently. Oh, as a matter of fact, on the first page of your statement, you talk about the pain and anguish of this tragic accident. Is this what you were referring to when you mentioned to a newspaper correspondent recently that, and I quote, this shuttle thing will cost us 10 cents a share this year?
Yes, sir, it was, and I'd like to clarify the circumstances under which those remarks were made. This was
Well, make it very brief, because we only have 5 minutes, and I have some other questions to get on with.
This was an article by the Wall Street Journal who asked me to give them a financial analysis of where the company stood as a result of the shuttle incident, as well as all other factors of the company.
Right,
so I was simply responding directly to his questions.
From the national point of view, would you agree that it cost every shareholder in the American company, every man, woman, and child in the United States, not 10 cents a share, but perhaps $20 or $25 a share?
Well,
and
sir,
that's not counting the incalculable loss of time that we can't put a monetary value on, the trauma to the American people, the incalculable loss in lives, the 7 lives that were lost. Would you say that's a true financial loss of the accident too? $25 per shareholder in the American enterprise.
Sir, I don't believe you can put a financial value on this tragedy at all.
You certainly can't. And I would say that your statement that this shuttle thing cost us 10 cents a share has to go down in the annals of history. 104 years ago, in 1882, William Vanderbilt, in answer to another newspaper reporter's comment, said, "The public be damned." Now, for over a century, that remark has stood unchallenged and unparalleled for its gross insensitivity, for its banality, for its tastelessness. But I believe that you have finally done it. You have finally moved Mr. Vanderbilt over in that corporate leadership hall of infamy. You've done it. Now, let me ask you another question. On your second page testimony, on the first page, you say it was our solid rocket motor that failed. Flat statement. Now, in your contract with NASA, the Morton Thiokol contract with NASA, it provides that in the event of a failure of the solid rocket motors to perform in compliance with the specification requirements of the contract, there will be a fee reduction of $10 billion and the loss of the flight success incentive fee. Would you say that your failure, as you describe it, the solid rocket motor that failed, would trigger that $10 million fee and the loss of your flight success incentive fee?
Sir, that's a contractual matter that I'll just have to defer to other people to conclude.
Well, I mean, what is the fair meaning, the clear meaning of those words and the clear meaning of your words this morning? This morning you've said it was your rocket motor that failed. Now let's leave all the Philadelphia lawyers out of this. You said our solid rocket motor failed, okay? In this contract, it's perfectly clearly stated that in the event of a failure of the solid rocket, that $10 million penalty would be triggered and the loss of your success incentive fee, flight success incentive fee would be triggered. Is that a fair reading of the contract and a fair reading of your words this morning?
The contract is a very complex document.
It's not complex. It's very straightforward, Mr. Locke.
I have no further comments.
Mr. Locke, you said on page 2 of your testimony that this policy of openness, in which you respect the candor of these men and their engineering knowledge, will not change as the space program regroups and moves forward. Yet you told this same reporter that once this, and I quote, "Once this commission issues its report and this thing is closed, it's going to be a different situation because people are paid to do productive work for our company and not to wander around the country gossiping with people." You were also critical of engineers, quote, "who travel all over the country at our expense to appear before commissions or just take idle trips to talk to somebody in Washington." Now here you've taken a trip, I hope you don't think it's an idle trip, to talk to Washington, to come to Washington to talk to somebody, and a number of your staff have come too. Your words are open, but I detect from these comments to the Wall Street Journal that you don't consider commission hearings, and you don't consider congressional hearings very constructive, part of the legislative process. You don't look on them favorably. Now, which is it?
Well, sir, as I said before, the interview with that particular reporter was a very long interview, and they selected certain parts of the comments to report. They did not report the entire.
They never do, but we don't write the stories, do we? We found that out up here. But apparently you weren't misquoted, and you said that travel all over the country at our expense to appear before commissions or just to take idle trips to talk to somebody in Washington is not what you consider a legitimate corporate activity. Do you really believe that? Are you here today just to talk to somebody? And is this an idle trip just to talk to somebody in Washington?
Those remarks were made in connection with the conclusion of the Presidential Commission's report and the conclusions of all of the investigations. I said, all I was simply trying to say was that after all of the investigations are over, we have a very big and very complex job to do, and we've got to get on with it.
Does this mean that you will cooperate with whatever continuing, ongoing oversight there will be, and that you won't cast a damper or a cloud or bring any pressure on outstandingly fine Americans like Mr. Beaujolais and Mr. McDonald in their efforts to help us understand what happened and to prevent something like this from happening again?
Sir, I think our record is very exemplary. In fact, Mr. Rogers himself said before this committee that he had gotten complete cooperation from this corporation during his investigation. He was very complimentary of us, and I'm very glad that he did say that to this commission.
Well,
we
the record
have been
does
open,
show-
and we will continue
Now,
to
wait
be
a minute,
open.
Wait a minute. I think that we have pursued that line far enough. I think that we're at a point